while I get the pleasure to talk about the hands-free, you're gonna see behind me gorgeous Siobhan. She's in the blue. She's gonna get a define and evolve treatment. Kelly, my amazing assistant nurse, is going to do this. So this is a passive treatment. And so I first like to talk about my area. I am in the city of Maricopa, not to be confused with Maricopa County. Right now, some of you are Googling Maricopa and you'll see that there's 7 million people. That's not me. So this is Phoenix, sexy Scottsdale. I'm all the way down here. And so I'm surrounded by Native American land 360. So I'm like this little island in the desert. And on paper, I shouldn't do very well, but somehow I have. So I'm gonna give you all my secrets. And so we opened in 2019. A pandemic wasn't really in my business plan. Was it in yours? Did you plan for that? I didn't either. And so we got through that. We've grown our practice tremendously. And so I'm gonna tell you all of my secrets on how I've done that. Everybody asks me why I chose InMode, and there's a couple of reasons. I bought my first devices, these hands-free, in July of 2020, and so my husband is my office manager, and so we had just been shut down for 8 weeks, and I came to him and I said, hey babe, by the way, I just bought 2 devices. He's like, I'm sorry, did you just stroke out? And I was like, no, not at all. And so I really wanted to work with this company for a couple of reasons. Prior to being a nurse practitioner, I was a forensic nurse. So I'm super boring. I'm really into the science and research of everything. On the hour-and-a-half flight here, all I was doing was reading journal articles. Before bed, reading journal articles. So I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies, I'm super boring. But I'm really into the science of it. So I can live and die on the hill that InMode promotes really great sound science. They have more third-party research than any other aesthetic device on the market, and that's really important to me. I also love the support you get. Dr. West, who's gonna come up in a little bit, she's fantastic. She and I were just talking about how much support we get with InMode, which isn't traditional. You get what's called an account manager, mine is John, and he's the person who's not trying to sell you anything. I don't know if you know, but the sales guys are trying to sell you something. And so then you get a person that's not trying to do that. So if you need help with marketing and pricing, you have another resource. You also have a fantastic clinical team of RNs and above, always at your resource to answer questions, so all of these things, but more importantly, it's the culture of the company. When I first went into aesthetics, I went to a conference similar to this, and I was sitting next to another practice in New York, and we were talking, and they were telling me how important white label products were and how it drove in business. I said, oh yeah, I've been really looking into that. Like, which companies do you use? And they said, I can't tell you, it's proprietary information. I said, why? We don't share information? This is so weird to me. And so it was this weird concept in aesthetics that we couldn't share information. I love that InMode promotes us at events like this to share information. They know rising ships rise together. And so they want us all to do really well and share that information. So a lot of my growth is due to InMode.